we work in the contingent labor space and workforce solution space. So we do staffing, we do managed services, employer of record, and agent of record services.
All right. And how long have you been working with the Innovature?
So I've been working with Innovature since 2015. So we're
Wow.
coming up not too long on a decade, really.
Wow, impressive. And how many staff do we have working with you guys
I think we have
currently?
about 15 or so currently. I'm doing that from memory, so I might be a little off.
It's probably around that. And what are the roles we fulfill with you guys? Not for
So
the
we
15
do,
people, but
yeah. So
in
we do
general.
quite a wide array with Innovature. So we started off in accounting and finance, and we have a lot of folks in that core area. But we really expanded that to some of our operational roles, some data entry support, and even into a little bit into analytics and business intelligence.
Great. And originally, why did you think about maybe outsourcing some of your operations?
Yeah, so like most companies, I think a lot of them start with the idea that it'll lower the average cost of performing the transactions. But really, for us, we kind of go a little bit beyond that. So our goals are, in addition to kind of cost containment, we also look at this as a bit of risk mitigation, right? We're spreading our workforce, if you will, geographically. So if there's an issue with the workforce in one location, we have the ability to support tasks in other locations. And then also, Pinnacle has a global footprint, and it's a growing global footprint. So we like to have the ability to have partners in different locations where we can provide sort of around the clock support if needed, and partners that work non-US hours essentially. So it's kind of a wide array of things that we look at when we think about what do we want to outsource or should we outsource.
All right. Do you use any like automation tools such as RPAs or maybe business intelligence tools?
We do. We work heavily in RPA, so we use a UiPath. So we automate, as
Yeah.
many tasks as possible. We automate with RPA, and then our primary business intelligence platform is Tableau. We've used several, but right now we're primarily using Tableau.
Okay. So you see, there's a complementarity between automating some part of the processes and still working with outsourcing companies for other types of tasks.
Absolutely. There are always things that need a human to interact with them and to make decisions, right? And so whether that human sits in the US or sits somewhere else, you can't always automate away all of that work. And in some cases, we wouldn't want to either. There are things you just prefer a human to do.
Right. That makes total sense, because most companies, they really want to decide, should I outsource? Should I retain maybe some key positions in my back office, or should I outsource this or that? So what would be your advice to companies that are struggling, that they're in their business transformation and they are struggling what to do?
Yeah, my advice would be find a really good partner. The decision of what can we outsource, what should we retain, really, in our experience, all that comes down to the quality of the partner. And we struggled for a long time until we started working with Innovature. And so that quality of the partner, if you have a high quality partner, you can really outsource almost any task. There are other considerations, of course. There can be contractual or regulatory restrictions. And then there are just some controls, type things where certain things you don't want to outsource. But my number one piece of advice would be find a really good partner, because poor partners greatly constrain what you can do.
Very wise advice. So maybe just last question, as we've been working together since 2015. So how about the journey with Innovature, and how do you think the way things are going, or maybe improve over time, maybe as partners?
Yeah, so our journey with Innovature has been a long one, as I mentioned, and it's been really successful. We started out in really just a few roles in the accounting and finance space, and we really branched out beyond that, right? We've entered into operations and analytics, and a lot of that's just because Innovature's proven themselves to be able to handle the work. Their staff provide high quality service, and in many ways, the staff at Innovature produce a work quality that's identical to the work quality of our US staff. So I'd say we've had a very successful partnership with Innovature. And I think I mentioned earlier, a lot of this partnership was born out of a desire to find better providers. We worked with other providers in the past, and it just wasn't as successful. So we've really enjoyed the partnership with Innovature, and I think especially in the last couple of years with the pandemic, Innovature didn't miss a beat. Their staff had to work from home. They were able to work in the office sometimes, and much like a lot of companies, but they really maintained the level of performance. They maintained their level of quality, and I think that says a lot about a partner. There are a lot of providers that couldn't handle that kind of disruption without a service issue, and that wasn't true with Innovature. And so we're really, really happy about that.
Great. But likewise, let's keep working for another decades at least.